Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with a blog to watch. Today I'm going to review the Out of Order, or OOO, 10th Anniversary Ultra Brushed. For Out of Order's 10th anniversary, they have two limited edition watches. Each limited edition is 65 pieces. Both of them look like this. The difference is that this is the ultra brushed with, as the name implies, a brushed polish on much of the case, not the case sides and the bracelet. And the other one is pre-worn. Kind of the brand does a lot of like hand aging. They call it damaged in Italy. It's kind of a fun concept. So this is the one that's meant to look new. The other one is not meant to look new. And these are very limited watches. Ironically, I was just filming a video before this, which was another similarly priced diver style GMT. And both of these watches have very different movements, even though they look the same on the outside. The other one was a little bit less expensive, and it was the Miyota 9075. This is the Swiss-made Sellita SW330, which is kind of their version of the ETA 2893. And what's interesting is that this is more what you would call your 2 time zone diver, because what you do is you adjust the GMT hand here. And in the 9075, you actually have the ability to adjust the hour hand in 1 hour increments forward or backwards. That's also how you change the date. So totally different style. Those are more well suited for actual travel. This is more suited to wanting to know a second time zone or being able to adjust that. Neither is per se better. I guess for travel, the other one is. But there's different use case scenarios. But just thought it was very interesting that both of these types of movements are now available at these price points. And years ago, that was not the case, where at the lower price points, the GMT movements were much more limited and didn't have that much variety and options. Now that's very different. This watch, as well as the other one I was reviewing, 40 millimeters wide. This is a little bit on the thicker side, water resistant here to 300 meters. So this is a true diver in that sense. This is a pretty dial, and Italian Out of Order has always done a good job with colors and textures and dial depth. I've always been very impressed, even at inexpensive prices, their dials and the choice of colors. This one, nice rotating bezel there, matte ceramic insert, good use of materials and things like that. There's little refinement issues here. For example, like, is the dial too deep? Is the crown maybe a little bit bigger than it needs to be? It's fun, but you ask yourself, does the crown need to be quite big? There's this little plaque on the side here. That's fun. That it shows 2013 to 2023, reminding you that it's the 10th anniversary. There you can see the movement through the case back there. It actually looks pretty nice, even though that's pretty basic grade, but there's a nice finishing there that's sort of a nice industrial polish that Sellita does. I think works really, really nicely there. And you can see the limited edition number on the automatic rotor. Here you have this two-tone color patterning on the crown there. And one of the things which I thought was nice, and this is a very little detail, but when you tighten the crown, it's designed so that the OOO of Out of Order is kind of, relatively even there. So they make it special where, it's threaded, but then they somehow calculate that when it's about at the tight point that you want it to be secure, it's, just sort of linearly showing the horizontal OOO, which, again, I'm pretty sure was an intentional thing that they did. Maybe they didn't. Maybe that was just on mine, but if they did, kudos to you, Out of Order. That's pretty cool. Whole lot of dial text there. You have the OOO as the counterweight on the seconds hand. Then it's embossed there on the dial, and then you have more of the anniversary, the 2013 2023. So that's on the watch, not only on the dial and the case back. Is it on the case side. I don't know that needs to be there twice, okay? So the anniversary date once on the watch. You choose where, Out of Order, but definitely not twice. I think that could have been removed from the dial. But overall, the colors are nice. I haven't sized this bracelet yet, but you can see it there on the wrist. Pretty handsome. I'd say the only thing I would have liked is maybe a slightly more modern generation clasp. The clasp is fine, but I mean, this is technology which was obsolete 10 years ago when the brand began. So that's the only thing I would have liked to see, a slightly upgraded part there in the clasp, but not that big of a deal. Overall, even though it's on the thicker side, Definitely a handsomely proportioned watch. Colors are great, good fit and finishing, nice detailing, and limited, very limited to 65 pieces. So this is the out of order 10th anniversary ultra brushed, and price is exactly 1,000 euros. You can see the full review on a blog to watch. Thanks.